Next, then, we go more into depth. The VP or Group Director of Forrester is among us. Give it up for Laura Koetzle. Laura.
Thank you.
Welcome.
All right.
This is your clicker.
And I have 8 minutes, I know.
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. We're perfect on track, so everything is fine now.
Sure.
Good luck.
No problem. Well, I'll try not to screw that up, shall we? Okay, so I'm going to build on Mimoun's talk a bit and talk about how to excel. We need to think about which type of CISO our business really needs. Now, before you think, oh, great, she's going to sort me into a little tiny box and I have to be one particular kind of CISO, all of you can be all of these types of CISOs, but I think it's important, particularly if you're looking for a new CISO role, to think about what kind of CISO should the company want. So let's start here. We're going to talk about 2 companies for a moment. So we've got a global medical device company, 10 billion in revenue, they're publicly traded, they sell to hospitals and medical testing labs. They're starting to build a proper customer-facing cloud platform to support all of their different kinds of medical devices. And they've got a mature information security program. Secondly, we've got a European online fashion retailer, a little smaller, only $1 billion in annual revenue. They're privately held. They suffered a high-profile data breach recently. They incurred a whole bunch of fines. The previous CISO and CTO exited after the breach, and they are investing in a bunch of security updates, as you might imagine. So here's my question to you. Do each of these companies need exactly the same things from their CISO? Who thinks they do? Right, that's what I figured. So these companies don't need the same things from their CISO. So let's talk about what kinds of things they might need. So the research that we've done at Forrester tells us that we've sort of thought about the whole landscape of CISOs, companies like these and others, and what we figured out is that there are sort of 6 basic modes or flavors of CISO, if you prefer. So let's talk about what those are. First, you've got the transformational CISO. You've got a business that's transforming, they want to do something different, they want to do something that's more customer connected. Hopefully they've already got a relatively mature program. They need somebody who's going to be a change agent, who's comfortable with uncertainty, who's comfortable with change, and who can help them move into the new world that they want to as a business. Now, all of you have the capability to be all of these things, but if you're looking at a job listing, say, on the platform, if you see these keywords, then you know what kind of CISO they're looking for. Secondly, you've got the post-breach CISO. Ooh, the sound changed. So, unsurprisingly, this is the CISO who comes in after a major breach. This company has had a problem, like my retailer in my first couple of slides there. And they've got a lot of scrutiny on them, lots of attention from the media, possibly attention from regulators, depending on what kind of business they're in and what kind of breach it was. And they know that they need to make a bunch of changes. So ideally, if I'm the board of a company like this, I'm looking for somebody who's seen this movie before, who's been through a major breach, knows what to do, knows how to reassure the market, or someone who's willing to take that challenge on. That's a different kind of portfolio than my transformational CISO. Thirdly, we've got the tactical or operational expert. So Mimoun took you through kind of a brief history of the evolution of the CISO role, and a lot of you have sort of watched this over the many years. This is what I would describe as the closest to the kind of origin of the CISO. Traditionally, CISOs grew up inside of the information security or the information technology organization. They're experts on technology who rise through the ranks to become, eventually, the CISO or reasonable equivalent thereof. This is somebody who likes to sort the technology out, likes to get stuff done, action-oriented, not necessarily a change agent, not necessarily comfortable with uncertainty. So in a transformation, if you've got a tactical operational person at the helm of security, they may need to change the way that they're working, if you're thinking about this from the perspective of the CISO or the board of directors. So, fourth, we've got the compliance guru. So these are the folks that you see a lot in regulated industry. They have legal backgrounds, backgrounds as data protection officers, backgrounds in privacy, and so on. And so you want these kinds of folks are very process-oriented. They're used to elaborate compliance requirements that a lot of us are subject to different degrees, thanks to all the regulation that's been coming in over the last several years. But if you're a company in this kind of situation and you have a mature program, a compliance expert and a person who really enjoys that kind of orientation may well be your very best bet. Fifth, you've got the steady state CISO. Basically, this is the everything is fine, the company is not changing very much, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing, and we need a CISO who's going to help us do that. So some of you may thinking, wow, that sounds boring. And some of you may be thinking, that actually sounds pretty good. That means no waking up in the middle of the night. Yay! So different strokes for different people. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with a company that needs a steady state CISO. They've got a mature program, company's doing what it's doing, it's probably doing pretty well, raking in the money, and so that's what they need. And if you took a transformational type person and put them in that seat, they'd be really bored. So you want to make sure that you approach your job the right way. You can do anything. It's a question of what do you want to do. And finally, you've got the customer-facing evangelist. This one's a little newer, and some of you may be looking at the screen going, what on earth is that? Okay, so this is for companies that are trying to make information security part of their pitch to the market, which you see more and more nowadays, which makes me really happy because it's something I've wanted to see for as long as I can remember. And so this is a person who does stuff like what I'm doing now, standing up on stage in front of a whole bunch of people who are really interested in the topic and convincing them that our company knows how to do this right, we're building products that are secure by design, and we think that you should buy us over other people's products because we're better, because our security is better. Now, the pitch will probably sound a little more complicated than that, but that's the general idea. So you can be any of these 6 types of CISO, but when you look at a company, it's probably very helpful to say, which of these 6 things do I really want to do? Which excite me? Which kind of CISO would I like to be? And what kind of CISO is this company looking for? So with that, let's go back to our example from the beginning. These are our 2 companies from before. So we got our global medical device company, who's doing their customer-facing cloud platform to support all the medical devices, and we've got our European online fashion retailer who suffered a breach. Okay, so now, if I do raising hands, we'll be here all week, and I'll definitely run out of time. So what kind of CISO do you think the global medical device company needs, based on the 6 types we talked about? Anyone, just blurt it straight out. Excellent. Well done. You guys get a 10 out of 10. Now, you could argue that because they're regulated, they might want a compliance guru. I think transformational because they're building that cloud platform. And what about our online fashion retailer? What kind of CISO do they need? Excellent. Whole class gets a 10 out of 10. Very well done. That one was probably fairly obvious, so you have to have at least one obvious question. I think this is so hopefully, for all of you who are thinking about what's my next career move, think about these 6 types of CISOs and which type you'd like to be next. Which type are you now? What type does your company need? What kind of company do you want to go to? Do you want to be a post-breach CISO? Do you want to be a transformational CISO? Do you want to be a customer-facing evangelist? You can do any of those things. So thank you very, very much. And I'll take questions later.
Thank you very much. Laura Koetzle. Thank you.